rigorous racing like that. Wonderful Speedway.
Just before the meeting tonight in the pit stand, we're joined by Aaron Summers. Aaron, although I personally wasn't there at King's Lynn yesterday, I have on good authority that you rode very well for the team.
Yeah, you know, dropped to reserve. Didn't really want to go down that way, but just been struggling a little bit lately with bike things. Seen we've got them sorted now, and yeah, last night proved that day, so it's good.
Obviously, watching on the updates, it was clear that you were one of the stars of the team last night. However, back home tonight, so we want to try and get a result for the team tonight, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we need to try and win any meeting we can, prove a point to people. You know, and then playoffs are going to be pretty vital for us.
From your frame of mind, a rider's frame of mind, once you're in the playoffs, you know that you've got extra meetings coming up, which you always want to ride your bike as much as possible. But on a meeting night tonight, when you're up against someone that you could be up against in a few weeks' time as well, is it psychologically you want to get one over them, or is it it's a new meeting, you just want to win it anyway?
It's just a new meeting, you want to win anyway. You know, I go out to win every race. It's not like I go out to run a second or a third or a last. You know, I'd rather win every race if I could. So that's how we make our earnings. So yeah, we just go out and do our best.
Obviously coming in from Rye House, enjoying it here?
Yeah, you know, there's still ongoing things in Rye House, so hopefully we can get them sorted pretty soon, because it's gone on for long enough now, you know, being owed money and what have you. So yeah, it's good here. Enjoyed the move, and it's a track I've never had as a home track before or anything, so we learned a bit more, which is good, and I think we're progressing more and more as the meetings we go on here.
And it's a nice atmosphere with Debbie and Gary. They're very hands-on, aren't they? Very personable. You can go up to them and they come up to you, and it's a mini family here, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's what a team is, though, isn't it? It's, everyone's got to get on with everyone, and all do their bit for each other.
Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, have a great night. Stay safe, ride fast. Let's win tonight. Put those stars under pressure for the playoffs.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Cheers.
Joined by Dale Allett just before the meeting tonight. Dale, great to see you here at the Oak Tree Arena. Could be a dress rehearsal for the playoffs. Could be a good match.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing we're here without Nils, and obviously picked up an injury tie last night. But yeah, normally had a decent record here, 2 good teams, so it should be a good meeting. We've brought in Nicolai, who has done well here on his visits with Paul and in the pairs. So yeah, it's all good. Just a busy time of year. Another double header tomorrow, so get through tonight and on to tomorrow.
Leicester tomorrow. Lots of points still to put up there, which could really seal your spot at the top of the table.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, whatever happens tonight, as long as we win both meetings tomorrow, we'll finish top anyway. So which is in our hands, what we've been saying all season really. But we come here as we always do, wanting to win. We're on a good streak, and we'd like to keep that going.
And obviously with Nicolai coming in, but you've also running rider replacement tonight for Ty as well. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
So gets you thinking a lot more harder about who to put in and when.
To be honest, I know it's a strange thing, but as a team manager, it's good, because it actually, you can influence the meeting more than you can normally, because you can be a little bit more tactical and run riders in different heats, or even tactical subs if you need to. So it's all good, and I'd much rather have more to do than have nothing.
Obviously going to all the different clubs up and down the country and being in it for quite a few years now in the sport. British Speedway, enjoying being part of it?
Yeah, it's been 12 or 13 years now, so yeah, like Robert says, try not to break tapes, but yeah, it's I think there's a few things we need to change. I don't think it's a massive thing. At the end of the day, it's 4 guys going around in a circle 4 times, but we overcomplicate it with bureaucracy and rules, which is something we need to get away from, and interact more with the fans, put on a better product. As in, do more for the money we charge. The basic product is good, which is, everywhere you go, the racing's been quite good. So there's nothing wrong with that, but we need to get back to involving the fans more, and at the end of the day, without the fans, there's no sport. So, like I say, get away from the red tape, the bureaucracy, because there's so many people that you speak to, and it's a minefield trying to explain what goes on and how Speedway works. How one rider can ride for one club one night and then he's riding against you the next night. So things like that. But on the whole, there's far more to be positive about than be doom and gloom.
Well, you just hit on that and positivity. I mean, we just look at the youth this year and last year specifically. British Speedway have had great results with the under-21 team picking up their medal, and all the youth as well are doing so well in their respective grades, if you like. There is so much there for the future that we can really build on now. We've got a nice firm foundation rider-wise.
Very much so. I think we suffered a big hit quite a few years ago now, but they stopped really the 250s, and the kids had to ride Jawas, which meant parents had to go out and buy new engines and all sorts. So we lost a lot of kids, but there's been a lot of work done with Neil and lots of people building that back up. And yeah, the future's bright. You look at, like with Robert and Drew Kemp, Jordan Jenkins, Kyle Bickley. There's so many. Sorry if I've missed anyone. Liam Flint, another one. But they need right direction. They need help, and if they take that help and the guidance that's been offered to them, then we've got a great future. We've just gone to the Under-21 World Cup and done really well without Robert. So, but we need to build on that, and we need to keep the ball rolling, because one thing's for sure, we're still a long way behind places like Poland and Denmark and Sweden in what they do for their young kids. Personally, I'd like to see going back to not how the fast track was in the end, but I think teams should be encouraged to promote, a British rider, because that's where the future is. I cut my teeth in National League, and we brought riders through like Robert, Lewis Kerr, Lewis Rose, and so many riders. But without that, then we have no future. So we need to invest in our own future, which is our kids. We get them going, it's better for everybody, and you create your own stars.
Well, I think you've answered every question I thought of asking you, and all the ones that I wish I could have done as well. So thanks ever so much for your time. Let's have a great, safe night out there. Let's entertain the crowd, and hopefully that we all go home. Some more happier than others, but it's Speedway. We want to have a good night here tonight.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks for your time.
No worries.
He's going to toss it forward. But she's going to throw it, she's not going to toss it, so cover your eyes, lads. The point is going in the air. So who won that toss? So right, going on the toss, taking. So we are now 1-3. 1-3 for the Rebels in heat number 1. The Rebels having won the toss. Okay, positions on A in a boat. Right, let's introduce this team to you. The Klindt Stars, their second in the form team at the moment. Starting off with their captain at number 1, Robert Lambert. Another big point, piling the risk coming down to see us tonight. Eric Chris at number 2. We've got a rider replacement for the Stars at number 3 because Ty Proctor are not with us. Number 4, Thomas Jorgensen. And at number 5, it's the guest, it's Nicolai Klindt. Riding at number 6, well, I'm sure he does get a lot of rides down in reserve for the Klindt Stars, Michael Howarth. Certainly knows his way around this place. And at number 7, for the Rebels, Simon Lambert. Moving across to these Rebels, our captain at number 1, Jason Doyle. Well, when you come back from your injury, the last thing you want to do is start getting knocked around again, and that's what this young man did last night. Stay on the bike tonight, please. Number 2, Bradley Wilson-Dean. We've got a former Rebels guessing for us at number 3, Howarth. And number 4, I'm sure we were more pleased than he was on Sunday night up at Sheffield, Richard Lawson. Not the place he wanted to finish, but well done, Richard. Number 5, Jack Holder. Number 6, got a lot of points over this last week since he's been back in action, Jake Allen. And at number 7, he's a form reserve for us, Aaron Summers. Maybe not. We've got a winner in blue. Nice work. 58 points so far. Debbie's happy because she's got to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I guess. When the other riders have scored very well tonight, it's always nice to give them the opportunity to ride at 15 and not us boys would have been doing it week in, week out. So fair play to the whole team. We all scored quite well, and this is all got to do tomorrow as well.
just looking, you paid for the lot, getting that 12 times 50, that's 600 quid you got tonight.
Yeah, cheap one, so hopefully I can afford a meal on my way home.
You get burger here in the Oaks, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I've heard it's good burgers and chips, so it's always nice to win at home. We've had a great year. Our main goal this year was to make the playoffs, and we've done that, so thank you very much for all the fans and the support we've had throughout the season. It was tough at the first hurdle, I guess, but then we all pulled our weight and started doing our job.
Yeah, I think you may be alluding to yourself because the early part of the season didn't go quite the way you wanted it to, but you got your swagger back, haven't you?
Yeah, it was terrible at the start of the year, and I guess that was through to myself. I didn't know how to really think about being a world champion, and I tried to over-exceed and try to get 15 points every match, and that's not impossible. That's impossible to do that week in, week out. So went back to basics and went for the average of 10 points a meeting and started flowing again. When the track started becoming good in probably the last half of April, now we've got a couple of race track we can pass on, race and entertain and fans and all the boys enjoying themselves.
And you're in the playoffs in Sweden as well, but your team, because they came top, don't have to contest the semis, they're straight through to the final, is that right?
Yeah, we're in the semi-finals. It's quite nice to be the top two, but it's always nice to have an extra meetings, extra payday, but you never know what's going to happen in the quarter-finals. You could be knocked out and then not make the final, so we've got 2 more meetings in Sweden before the final, hopefully, and a lot more meetings in England, so hopefully we can come away with some silverware this year.
Keep holding the points and on Saturday in the World Championship. Good luck for that.
Yeah, I need some luck.
Let's join you, folks. Gravel word with the Rebel, who is returning to the Elk Tree action tonight after a couple of weeks away with the injury. Presumably, no repercussions from that, Jake.
No, I'm still a little bit, bruised and a bit stiff here and there, but I had an alright night tonight. I was just making good starts, and I think on a track that's slick and rough on the inside, if you make good starts, you make your night a lot easier for yourself.
Sounds like you got the lurgy, you got the man flu.
Yeah, that's it. Not been feeling well the last couple of days, but you'll forget about that once you get to the track.
Your first meeting back for Scunthorpe last week, that was a big point. Only dropped 1 point, I think it was that on that one?
Yeah, 2 maybe. I think I ran a 1 and a 3rd and then won the rest of my races of 6 rides. So it's a good comeback. I didn't want to come back for the night before at Ipswich. I wanted to just come back on a track that I was confident on and a little bit more comfortable, coming back a week earlier than they wanted me to. So, just eased into it. Then I had the weekend off and getting ready for a busy week. So
nobody wants to see anybody injured, and a promoter never wants to see his wife. General Ron Godfrey had to see both of these, yourself and Josh Horty.
Oh, was Auckland,
yeah, from the accident down here, yeah.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good. Wasn't good outcome for Scunthorpe, but doubling up and racing as often as we do, accidents are bound to happen, and that was my first, pretty big crash where I had a bit of a layoff this year. So I'd done something like 40 odd meetings already, so getting out all of them with a couple of crashes and staying injury free was good, but you're racing that often and injuries are bound to happen. So it's just my turn to have a week or so off and then back into it.
Going up to Bellevue tomorrow, how do you rate the chances up there?
Yeah, I think you saw us tonight here against Kings Lynn, who have been smashing everyone everywhere in the past couple of weeks. So just we can get off to a good start, I think, at Bellevue tomorrow and gate like we were tonight. I think we can do them and hopefully do the league as well.
Well done, great nice work tonight, Jake.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Jake, on first.
We have a very happy Gary May in the bar then with us directly after the meeting. What a result that is for the boys.
It's fantastic. We outgated them. We just outdone them every department, and the boys wanted it tonight, so it was good. Well, what can I say? Every one of my team rode brilliantly.
Coming from last night's tough loss, if you like, last night, although we did pick up a point, to come here and ride so well against one of the top teams in the league. Got to be taking some good form now. That's going to boost you to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, we had a tough night at Leicester. 2 riders didn't score. We was unlucky really not to get the draw, but Leicester rode well. It was a very good match. But no, we come here tonight. We had a little talk. We hit them hard, and that sort of finished them off. And my boys just rode brilliantly. I hope they can take this form into the now into the playoffs.
And it's great to see Bradley Wilson-Dean having some great races tonight, whereas last night he hit the shower a few times, didn't he?
Yeah, Bradders fell off a couple of times, had a bad one at Leicester. I just told him to forget about it, and he can ride Somerset. He's good round here. He can beat anybody round here, and he proved it tonight.
Now, we are stood here on a Tuesday night, normally Wednesday night, or when it's on BT, it's a Monday night. So can you just explain the change of date and why it's a Tuesday?
Well, the cut-off's on 10th of September, and we had Bellevue on the Wednesday here tomorrow in the Cup. But King's Lynn are riding. So what we had to do was take Bellevue off, and then move to the Tuesday, which I know the Swedish players, are Swedish playoffs, but we couldn't really fit the 10th in because we were at Bellevue. So the two dates we could have done, but Leicester are both I'm riding or King's Lynn are riding. So we had to move to a Tuesday, and that's the reason why, and we had to fit this match in, because otherwise we would have been heavy fined, you know what I mean? So that's it, really.
And the guys at King's Lynn very happy to come down and do it.
Yeah, King's Lynn, I rang them up, and I spoke to Dale, and Dale said, well, yeah, we've got to get this match over, and they agreed. So King's Lynn agreed to come this Tuesday.
So it's gone, win for Somerset, and we move on.
We move on, and we go to Bellevue tomorrow, and we'll try our best there as well.
Okay, yeah, let's touch on that for a second. Tomorrow night, Bellevue. How important is this match to you now?
We go to Bellevue, and we go there to win, because we got them in the Cup, and if we can make a statement there tomorrow, and then obviously that'll take us into the Cup, because we sat Somerset this year, we've done what we wanted to make the playoffs, and the team's riding really well. I can't fault any of them tonight, and I just want them to take that on. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we want to take this a little bit further now. I think we've tasted a little bit of glory, so we want to go a little bit more.
It's going to be a good journey home, hopefully, and plenty of smiles. You never know, a bit of karaoke in the car.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Gary.
Oh, Jake, it's really good to see you pile the points on tonight, particularly after that horrifying incident there a couple of weeks ago. We saw you there into the safety fence. How are you now? You've recovered from that?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a weekend a bit off, and just tried to recover as best as possible, and not do too much. So had a quiet, relaxing week off, and come back at Scunny and scored a bagful there, and didn't do that well at Leicester last night. I struggled a little bit with setup, but tonight me and James have been working on the setup the last couple of meetings now, and gradually been getting better, but obviously didn't end the meeting before too well, but I was having a better night than usual, so just sort of concentrated on the start of the first one, and then just done sort of similar to what we done in the previous meeting. And in Heat 14, just tried not to crash.
Heat 14, I saw that you were on gate 1 there then, and honestly, I saw your arms stretched out as the bike wanted to pull ahead to turn 1 and that, and you were just, you made a terrific start there, straight into the first turn.
Yeah, and I think, just comes with a bit of confidence from, mechanic to equipment. I had faith in my mechanic, as like always, and I was gating well, and you have faith in your equipment, and it's a win-win. So Speedway is a strange old game, so you got to try and not get down in the dumps, keep confident, and eventually those points will come if you keep plugging away.
Did you have too much damage to the bike the other week?
Yeah, I had a bit. Also damage to myself. I was sore, like my kidneys, and it was more so my back, not really my elbow. It was giving me a bit of grief on the night, but once I went to the hospital and got checked out, it was not too bad. It was just like muscle damage as well, a bit stiff. So, a week off, sitting on the couch, not doing too much, playing a bit of PlayStation and chilling out. So, yeah, happy days. It was good to get rider of the night. I think I got rider of the night first meet of the year, and struggled pretty well ever since. So, it's good to have a good night, and hopefully I can keep it going for the rest of the year.
Right, James, it's good to see you up on the stage here. Probably the first time since your racing days. See you in the pits week after week, and a lot of the people don't go into the pits. I see you've been helping Nico, and was it tonight you were helping Jake?
Yeah, I've been helping Jake for the last maybe 3 or 4 meetings. Helped Todd last week, so see we get called up every week.
So are you helping any individual rider, are you just sort of like lending a hand to help everybody?
Well, I'm helping Jake now to end the season. I was helping my brother until he left, and then Jake got on the phone to me and wanted me straight away.
You got a knack on the bikes and that, because setting them up, because I always used to poke Charles's leg to say that it must be James that's working on your bike tonight when he was having a good night.
Yeah, I know a little bit, because obviously I rode, but you start with the individual who's riding the bike, 'cause it's very hard to tell what the bike's doing, but all I can do is you know, have a bit of judgment when he's racing and try and put him in the right direction. We have tried a few different things, and we're starting to get a bit of a routine going, and as everyone can see, his performance is getting better every week.
So, as a mechanic working on the bikes and that, do you sort of like pass info on to the other riders as well, if you've got something right?
I tend to just stick with my rider, and that's it. Everyone else has got their mechanics, and you know, that's what they're getting paid to do. So I try and do the best job for Jake, and you know, if he has a good meeting, I'm happy.
You certainly pulled in a few points. He probably will before the night's points tonight. Anyway.
Yeah, he's getting better. His confidence is getting better. I just say, just look after yourself, and the points of flow, and you know, keep trying to put him back to basics of. You know, we came over here to ride a speed bike and have fun, so we're just trying to get the fun factor back.
So tell us, as a mechanic, I guess the first thing you do when you arrive is what, make sure that you're changing the tyres, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Just try not to puncture it, which I managed to do with my brother a few times. But yeah, my brother's probably the worst one to have a mechanic for. He's pretty hard work, but. Yeah, it's pretty cruisy with Jay. We get on pretty well, and we try and discuss things during the meeting, and you know, he's improving every week.
It's good to think that you're still involved here at the Oak Tree Arena, because what was it, about 4 years ago now when you rode 5?
Yeah, I'm still riding grass track now, so it keeps me busy really. Just never really thought about coming back at the moment. Just it's not the right time for me. I've got 3 kids and everything, so. I tend not to go to any speedway or even follow it at all. All I do is just turn up, do the spanners and go home.
And of course, by doing that as well, you're injury free as well.
Yeah, you can always get injured at work, do anything. It's just, like I say, it's not the right time at the minute. It might never be the right time, but you know, I'm just glad some riders appreciate me, and I'm always here to help.
Well, it's really good to think that you're down here helping out the riders, James, and best of luck for the rest of the season as well. Thank you very much for coming up.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.